I was able to overcome that lack of confidence, which is crippling to so many people. They have that traumatic experience, they have that, and they do that into their 30s, into their 40s, 50s, and so on. To hear your story, you sound very much similar to me. And then you look at you now. I mean, you're a good-looking dude now,
Thanks, man. You
and
too.
you're running your own business. I mean, that's a success story. What you have is a success story. But how, what was it that really gave you that aha moment, I guess they call it, to say that that's not who you really are inside, that you should have the confidence that you have, because starting there's a lot of people with confidence right now that just are too afraid to start their own business.
Mhm.
And not only did you do it, you did it multiple times, you know? What would you say really did it? Was it just the to make that one big leap, to take that chance, and just like you said, to take that chance where you were doing called the bad thing, where you were just in a way living paycheck to paycheck, but you were
Yeah,
living project to project.
right.
What gave you the courage to do that?
I honestly, I wish I had some like really profound like like oh like a philosophy that I've always lived by, and I'm not that cool. Like I'm literally like I blame it 100% on complete. There was not confidence making that decision. It was it was literally lack of thinking it through. Literally, like I if I'm speaking so truthful, when I quit that other like both every time I quit my job, I had no savings. I had nothing. I had people to take care of. And it was just it was half like not thinking it through, not doing the math, not thinking about like what the repercussions were going to be if it failed. Never once thinking about if it failed, but it was like that just like looking before leaping, I guess is really what it is. Or not looking before leaping.
Right.
That's what it is. And then just kind of like pure like I've always known this is the only thing I'll say that is semi profound. I've always known that I was different, like I was born in a different time, or maybe in Buffalo, I was not. That those were not like a lot of those people. Even at the time as a young kid, I never fit in. Like I never like people tried to
Right.
make me fit in. They tried, you know. I'm not saying people I was an outcast. I had a lot of friends, but it never seemed like I was on the inner circle like that they were in, and I was always kind of on the outside of like some inside joke someone had. The joke wasn't on me, but like it just always kind of felt like that.
Right.
And I always thought, you know, I looked at stuff a little differently, and like I was kind of like a class clown after, you know, growing up, after being like I was fat, and then when I was 15 I lost a whole lot of weight and became like, you know, a little bit like more in shape, and I started to kind of like look a little more normal and not like a chunky overweight kid. Started dressing a little better. People started to notice me, and I let that like a little bit go to my head at the time, where it was like, you know, maybe not overconfident, but just not used to any attention that wasn't negative bullying attention. So I kind of like went, you know, class clown and kind of started being a little bit obnoxious almost. Not arrogant, but a little obnoxious. And I was like, well, if people are always talking about the way I look, like, you know, like this is why can't I talk about it? Or, you know, like why,
Right.
or
Right.
something like that. And it just kind of like sparked into this thing. So I think like a lot of that and figuring out who I was like at these times and then going, wow, I have a kid. I need to kind of, I can't say at the time when I started the personal training firm that I thought of building a legacy like I think of now. But then I 150% knew that when I had my first son, I was like, I'm not going to be the guy. And there's nothing wrong with blue collar jobs, and there's nothing wrong with waiters. And I've waited tables my entire life, and there's nothing wrong with pizza places in these jobs. And like, I did all that stuff and working at a gym. But I was like, I will not be the guy living paycheck to paycheck, working behind a gym, working overnights. I will not be the guy that's going to do construction. I just knew it in my like complete self awareness of this is not me. And I absolutely, because of how I am, need to chase happiness, not freedom at the time, because I knew it was going to be a lot of work. Like my goal eventually is freedom, and that's another conversation. But I knew I needed to chase happiness, and I liked working, but I needed to work on things that I wanted to work on to be happy. So it was like a lot of like not thinking about the consequences, and a lot of like, I really did want to better myself. And I wanted just really truly believed in my heart that whatever I did, it was going to be successful. Like just
Right.
it's really bizarre coming from, like I said, like I know that might not make sense. Like it might be a contradiction of, well, you just said you had zero confidence. I didn't. But I still never thought about it. I never
Right.
overthought like this is going to fail because I sucked. I never thought about it like that. I just thought of, this isn't what I want. I need to make something happen.